Nintendo too. With Atari, Commodore, it's real cool. Higher scores is what you'll see, because Freedom Stick will set you free. No wires. Freedom Stick.
Good evening, everybody. How's it going?
Good evening.
It's going. I'm feeling that's the most patriotic video game commercial you could have for this week.
I thought it was perfect for it.
So that is how we used to play NES games wirelessly. Or
Yeah.
at least some people did. I never did, but my assumption is it's horrible.
I never walked all the way around my living room, but I wish I had, because that must have been liberating.
Yeah. Freedom, you know?
Yep. I thought it would be fun just to kind of show that
what
because
Independence Day was all about.
the free. You know,
God
it's
bless
funny
America.
because that used to be something else. They had to change it.
They had to
it was called the
rename it or-
Supersonic before. There's
Oh, right.
and they changed it to Freedom, and they had to change the whole song. I mean, it was the same song, but they just changed Supersonic to Freedom Stick or Freedom. It's kind of funny. It's just for that stupid thing.
And it works with your Sega, Atari, and Commodore too.
Yeah. I think it's. Does it say Commodore? Maybe it does.
It does. They say Commodore. Yeah, it's compatible with everything.
Yeah.
The Freedom Stick. Gotta have it. Gotta have it.
So, just so people know, our good friend Game Dave, who was on our stream, 2 weeks ago, is starting up his own weekly streams that are going to be just like ours for 2 hours. And it's going to be the 2 hours previous to ours, so based on U.S. Eastern Time. He's starting at 7 p.m. on Sundays, going till 9 p.m., and then we're streaming on our channel. So if you need more distractions in your Sunday night, tune in to Game Dave weekly at 7 and then us at 9.
Yeah. And also, I guess
Check your local listings.
we should let everybody know that tonight we are being joined by Jonathan Duke Williams, aka the 8-bit Duke.
Hi, crowd. The MLiG faithful. It's good to be with you.
And tonight we're going to be streaming with using the 8bitdo. Is that I guess
8bitdo.
that's what people are saying. It's supposed to be said that way.
Yeah, and see, I thought for sure, like, when I saw it written out, like, I never even really thought about how it was pronounced. And then I tried several things, like, as I was writing the script, because I'm like, crap, I'm going to have to say this out loud. And the only thing that sounded natural was 8bitdo. So I was like, well, that's got to be it. So I just did.
It makes your B button do.
It makes your B button do. And your A button, too.
But a lot of people told us in the comments that, it's a play on Nintendo. So it's 8bitdo.
Yeah.
So what you're telling me is it's not Nintendo.
No. And it's also not Nintendo.
I've been wrong for 26 years.
And we're going to be using the retro receiver, and I'm going to be using the NES 30 wireless controller, which is
which you bought on your own after seeing mine.
Yeah, well, I mean, you said, it feels just like the real thing, and you're right. Like it's pretty good quality.
Aside from the weird, the fact that they turned it into a diamond button layout, like, for the most part, like, the feel of the plastic and the click of the buttons is, like, really spot on. Actually, funny thing, so I recently got this this Famicom here. I saw this is an original model Famicom. I've got a top loader, right? So they're both top loaders. This has the funny little flappy cover. But
flappy cover.
Yeah, the original model Famicom. I saw someone on Twitter say, man, I just don't even know what I'm going to do with this. Last time I tried it, it doesn't even work. I think I'm just going to throw it in the trash. No, excuse me. And I'm like, no, don't throw it in the trash. Like, I've actually like wanted a not working original Famicom, like just to have as like a prop or whatever. So
I'd like a working one.
I mean, I've got a working AV Famicom, but you know, as you probably know, the Famicom controllers, you know, they've got these little slots where they go, and they're actually hardwired to the system, really short cables because Japan. But anyway, I was just thinking just before the stream, I wonder, and as we showed in the video, one of the controllers I got was the Famicom styled controller, and I thought, how accurate is it? And boom, it fits in the little controller holder slot on the Famicom just perfectly. So I thought that was pretty funny. You know, it's got the diamond buttons and it's got the shoulder buttons, but otherwise, like, the shape of the plastic is like the real thing. So it's kind of wild.
And it's an accurate, what would you call that red? Because like a deep magenta, blood red Famicom color.
I read a story not too long ago about how Hiroshi Yamauchi, the president of Nintendo at the time that they started getting into video games, there was some popular, or I assume popular, device in Japan, or maybe it was a billboard or something. He saw something that had that sort of red and gold color scheme, and he told the designers, like, make our thing that color. So the classic
that's
Famicom
the color of crimson I want.
So the Famicom color came from the top.
That's cool.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah. Yeah, I really want to get one of the the Famicom styled ones. What is it? The FC30? Is that what they're called?
FC30. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I gave you my FC30 Pro.
Right.
The one with it sort of got Vita style analog sticks on it. I just gave it to you because, I mean, you know, it was sent to me, and I like it. It's a good controller, but I just honestly didn't foresee myself using it. So I thought, well, I'll give it to you so you can get some use out of it. But then as soon as you got back with the retro receiver, you were like, I'm just buying one of those NES.
Yeah. I mean,
it's a great controller.
The Pro is okay. It's a little mushy, but this one feels like the real thing. Like, it's...
Yeah, the buttons on the Pro were a little small, I think.
I've been thinking
I don't know,
that
they have
too.
a weird little bit of a click. And now, Duke, you have experience with these controllers too, because
I'm actually holding I have the NES 30 Pro that I got about 4 months ago, give or take, and to me it's like, oh wow, this is great. It feels really good, but kind of mirroring what you said after when we were at Too Many Games, and good friend Gilly was lamenting over which of these controllers to purchase that day. He had originally bought one of the Pros. I think the NES, the one I have, and then next thing I know, I saw him. It was maybe a couple hours later. He had changed it up for the SNES 30. The one.
I have. This one is surreal. Like,
yeah,
it
he
is.
He came up to me and he's like, "Put this in your hands," and it was like. It was exactly what I thought I would want from a controller that was pretending to be a legitimate Super Nintendo controller, but better. Like, the D-pad, I think, is better than an original Super Nintendo.
I mean, I'd have to have some time with it to really come to that conclusion, but it is pretty wild. Like, just how dead on it is, because I went through this phase for so long where I was trying to get some good backup SNES controllers, and there is nothing that matches the real thing. And the problem is, so many of the real thing are so worn and mushy by this point. So you would think that this controller would be like the simplest thing in the world to make a good approximation of, but it is hard. But this somehow actually does it, which is wild, because I actually said in the video, I wish they would make a version for SNES and Genesis, like a version of the wireless receiver. And several people commented that they showed apparently a SNES version at at E3. So hopefully that's coming out soon. Because
I could see that.
See, they made a good move sending me these things because now that I have this, I'm definitely going to buy the Super Nintendo one like the second it comes out.
Yeah.
Like I probably would have been like, I don't need one for Super Nintendo, but I've got this controller, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to buy it.
I mean, I might as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing I
would
like
like it if they made a Genesis controller, like an actual wireless 6-button Genesis pad. I think that would be pretty neat.
I don't know why they don't have one out yet. Like I know they're like 8bitdo Nintendo, but they should totally make Genesis stuff too. Because I mean, the Genesis stuff will be compatible with so many things too. You could probably play Atari.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say
and all that. You know,
because if you have an Atari, the only thing you want is the modern convenience of wireless freedom. That you need the Freedom Stick for the Freedom Stick is compatible with the Atari. That's what the commercial said.
Yeah, it is. So I mean,
the 70s must.
But that uses an IR,
Better break
so you have
that
to
market.
you have to be in the IR, like in the
Yeah,
direct
so-
line to it.
so crazy.
I can't even get my TV remote to work right, so
Right.
The Freedom Stick must not be for me.
Well, the thing
You
I
know,
like
Mellow
about this is I'm a big fan of the diamond like layout, and I like the B and A at an angle, like an SNES controller. And even though I do like the original NES controller, you know, not the dog bone, but the original square one, and the buttons side by side. But you know, if I have a preference, I would do like a Y and B type layout of the Super NES controller, and this gives me that.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm a Diamond fan myself. That's what I grew up more with, was 4 buttons in that configuration than the 2 side by side. Though if I had 2 buttons side by side, and I don't think I've ever said this to you guys, but I've said it in many other situations, the Atari 7800 Pro controller, that is a 2-button controller that is sadly nobody gives a crap about.
I can't even think of what it looks like off the top of my head.
It's weird. It's kind of like you took a Sega Master System controller and a NES controller, and you painted them. You flattened them out, painted them black, and then you put 2 concave grooves where your thumbs would go in front of the buttons. But it felt really cool. Like it was the 7800 is the 7800, but for a controller, it was pretty neat. Sad thing it just played Atari games.
Yeah.
I saw Mellow Gaming say a bit back that he was looking at 8bitdo controllers to use on the Retron 5. And just as like a fair warning on that, I haven't. Well, first of all, I thought you needed the wireless receiver to use them on it at all. And then quickly, many people corrected us on the video. That it's just natively compatible with it because the Retron has a Bluetooth receiver.
Right.
But I had trouble. I didn't test extensively. I had a little trouble. I finally got to pair up with it, but then the button mapping was like all over the place. And I
It
was
probably
kinda pressed for
registers it as a
time.
sort of keyboard because it's Android based, right?
I think it's. I don't know if the Retron 5 can even use keyboards, maybe, but like the buttons are mapped from that weird, the stupid controller that comes with the Retron 5, and I don't. So it thought that certain buttons were this button or that button. I was going through the custom button mapping, and it was like turn the weird looking up arrow button, which is because they like instead of letters or whatever, they have like up arrow, right arrow, down arrow, even though they're not the D-pad. It's dumb,
Right.
But anyway, it was like trying to map those buttons to the thing. I'm like, I have no idea what button is supposed to be what button on this, and I gave up. In other words, it can be done, but you're probably going to have a bit of a headache figuring out how to remap the buttons in the Retron 5 system. So, but you don't have to think about that if you're using the retro receiver. But then in that case, you can only use the 2 face buttons. You don't get all of the buttons like normal.
Yeah, it'd be really cool if there was a way you could assign like turbo to the above buttons or something. Or can you do that?
It automatically makes the other buttons turbo. So like
Okay,
X
that's right.
is
Yeah.
turbo B and A is turbo A because regular A is B.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm going to go ahead and start. Just so you know, just
Start
because.
playing.
Yeah. So I'm just for behind the scenes people that are interested in this kind of thing, I'm doing a little something different, where usually the people that I'm in Skype with are forced to watch the stream and watch things happen in real time. I mean, at the same time as the chat is seeing it. But now I've worked out something with my setup where I'm actually streaming to them via a second capture card and streaming it to you. It's just the way it's all set up.
It's
so
crazy.
they can see stuff in real
crazy
time.
black magic.
If it looks like Corey's stream is not handling it well, let us know. Or Corey's computer. It's probably fine.
Yeah, how does it look?
Kinda crazy.
Does it look
I
for you
can't
guys?
believe they gave Bomb Man his own game through Hudson after the success of Mega Man.
For a second, I was about to go, wait, seriously?
There's a brief second where I was like, that joke sucked.
It was a good joke, but I'm just like, I'm not necessarily the best at picking up on that stuff right away.
So the X and A buttons on this controller are rapid fire versions, and it's really handy for Mega Man. I gotta be careful when I call it a feature, because I had a commenter say, these are not features, these are cheats. I said, it's pretty cool that you have that.
I think that's a question of perspective.
Yeah, well,
I mean, I think it's.
Because then it's
hilarious. I thought that was a hilarious comment, but the fact of the matter is, I kind of agree with that. Like, I wouldn't use those features if I was like legit trying to beat a game. But they're fun for like testing stuff and whatnot.
Right.
I mean, you got to get your three.
And if you don't know, the Mega Man Anniversary Collection does the same thing. It puts rapid fire on triangle.
Oh, okay, I forgot that.
So cheating is a feature in that game.
Yes.
If cheating's built, like, we were talking about like what would turbo graphics, like it's a feature built into the controller itself. Is it cheating in a turbo graphics game, but it is cheating in an NES game because it's not on the official controller? I don't know. But of course, there are also officially licensed third-party controllers that have turbo features. Like, if I'm not mistaken, doesn't the NES Max, which is a horrible controller and you shouldn't use.
That's the one with the little slidey thing in it.
Yeah, it's awful. It's awful.
Some
people swear by that, and it's just like,
I don't know. I've never heard anyone swear by it, but maybe back in the day, I don't know.
Back when having a different controller meant you were serious for your Nintendo.
Yeah.
You knew what you were doing. You were ready to get your game on.
So, we've talked about it before, but Mega Man 1 is my favorite Mega Man game. Like, by a long shot.
An unusual perspective, but...
Well, it's the only one you can have a high score on. Which is something I wish I never understood why they removed, because it was kind of neat. Like, it gave you another incentive to play more, to see how many more points you could get.
I mean, I am not a points guy myself, but it was definitely weird going back to Mega Man 1 after having played some of the others and be like, oh, hey, there's a score. And like, enemies drop score point balls all the time.
Right.
Instead of health recovery or something.
Yeah, because I played all these other Mega Man games. I'm like, I didn't care about points in any of these. Why am I going to start caring about points in this one? But the first time I played the original Mega Man, I didn't like it that much. The first time I actually beat it, like, I owned the NES cart, but the first time I actually played through it all the way was actually on the Anniversary Collection.
Really?
And and I was like, this is not that good. But every time I've replayed it since then, I've been pretty into it. I actually, it's very difficult, but it's not that long, and so your suffering is short-lived.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There is something definitely iconic about it. And, you know, I expressed my very unpopular opinion a few weeks ago that I recently finally concluded that I don't think Mega Man 2 is that good of a game.
If I had to pick, Mega Man 2 is cool. Mega Man 2 is important. But I'll always be a 4 and up guy. I think.
I can't even.
For the Mega Mans.
Like 1 and 2 are like the best.
Sorry,
guys.
You know,
I think they're all. I think they're all like the differences in quality and
really
enjoyment is very minuscule.
I'm just panicking because.
I could never get past Gutsman's like little roller coaster of death here.
Yeah,
well,
it's
I usually have no
as a
problem.
Wii Duke.
I usually have no problem.
Oh, maybe it's that wireless controller.
Maybe. See, I'm like falling through it. I like.
I determined as best I could figure out. I determined that there might be like a frame of lag, but
this is just me being silly.
It was like a
SCART being rusty.
Yeah, this is me being rusty. I've played this one way more than any other game in the series too.
Have you played the PSP version of this, the Mega Man Powered Up?
Mm-hmm. It's very
What
good.
do you think of that? I own it, but I've never really put any time into it.
It's great. It's kind of weird because it mixes up the boss order a little bit to accommodate.
It adds something, doesn't it?
It adds 2 bosses who supposedly were originally planned, as far as I understand, Oil Man and Time Man. So it's got the
those
now
sound
traditional
like later editions, though. I mean, I don't. Yeah, I feel like. I mean, they sound like they were not there originally because they don't really. The theme
is the one that stands out.
Well, they seem to. The themes of them seems too complex compared to the.
Yeah. But then, like Gutsman, like that's kind of a random thing. I feel.
That's true.
But
it makes more sense than Construction Worker.
Yeah.
It's really well, the robots in the original Mega Man were kind of meant to be like practical robots, and like, well, Oil Man might be practical. Time Man, that's a little abstract.
Yeah. Because originally these are all supposed to be Dr. Light's robots who have been their Norton antivirus ran out and Wily got control of them. Time Man, I was like, what did Dr. Light need with whatever Time Man could do? Like, and then what would Oil Man do? Like, was he like a 7-Eleven attendant? Did he like like for states where you're not allowed to pump your own gas? He is Oil Man coming like, can I top you off? And he like gives you power steering fluid or something. I don't know.
But yeah, it's powered up is just like super like like it really plays up like the whole like
it feels
cuteness
like a toy
factor.
shop. I always felt like it.
Well, it really feels like a cartoon. Like,
right.
You know, it's very oh no, Dr. Wily took the robots and he's all
Do you guys remember the Mega Man cartoon? Back in the yonder days? I used to love that cartoon.
I've seen a couple of episodes of it. I was not aware.
I've got the
of
whole
Mega
thing.
Man
I could send you
that it
the
aired.
files for. I loved it. I loved Dr. Wily's extremely thick, fake British accent or German accent.
I remember seeing this. You know, back in the early days of internet video, I remember seeing this Mega Man fan film, and like looking back, it was terrible.
It was a live action one, wasn't it?
It was a live action thing, and like Dr. Wily was like this like, I mean, I wouldn't say he's like fat, but like he was like a bigger dude.
He was above average size for
yeah.
evil scientist.
Yeah. And it like had special effects and had like it was like Mega Man was like a regular person turned into a robot. And like, you know, and Proto Man was there. He had like shades on and so you all saw this too.
So can I tell you about a connection that I have to that movie? I can tell you about it.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
No,
Corey-
well,
Corey did
it's
voiceovers.
it's very very like thin thread, but it does exist. Okay,
That's
so
I'm
a couple
excited
years
about
ago, a friend of mine in New York, he's like a comedian, and he had a chance to act in a zombie film. And the zombie film came out. I think it was retitled a couple of times, but now like the last title that it had was "Eat Me." That's what it was called. Anyways, he missed coming to my wedding because he was filming this movie.
He was filming.
He was filming a wedding.
Yes.
He missed your wedding filming a movie called Eat Me.
Yes. So in this movie, it's this other guy who played Mega Man in that Mega Man fan film.
No way. Some guy missed your wedding because of the guy who was in that Mega Man fan film
No,
trailer.
he didn't miss it because he was in that. But if you
I know, but still.
look it
that's
up on
like
IMDb right now. The movie is called Eat Me.
Look it up.
So I had no idea that Mega Man fan film was like really got around like that. Like it was just a trailer, right? Like they didn't.
No,
make,
it's
like,
a full film.
thing.
It was a real
You're
film.
kidding.
No, it's a whole thing.
That's where you can look it up on IMDb.
We might be thinking of different things. I wonder if
No,
we're thinking
no,
of different
I don't think
things.
so.
This was like a long time ago. This was like 2000, between 2004 and 2006.
Yeah, listen, I got married in 2008.
Okay, all right. Oh man, if that was a full film, like I really want
It's on
to watch
YouTube.
that full film now. Maybe we could stream watching that film.
Yeah, do an MST3K Mega Man.
I would be
fan
so
film
excited about
edition.
doing that. Like if that would be like okay to do, I would be way into that.
Are you guys looking at this up on?
No, I'm
IMDb.
not.
One of you guys, come on.
Here, I haven't actually gone to IMDb in forever because I just hate how the site's laid out. So the film is called Eat Me.
Yes.
But how am I
And the
gonna
director is
find-
I think it's Katie Carmen is the director. Look at that. You see me destroy
2 blocks.
1 block, 2 blocks to kill him. Look at my life.
Oh, one little sliver.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, this is listed as a TV show.
No, it shouldn't be.
Okay,
Okay,
Eat Me 2010.
Yeah, it was probably released because it went through several.
Okay,
Katie-
Katie Carmen.
Yes, is the director.
And the guy who played Mega Man, like, full cast and crew. I can't even remember
He
what
was one of the
looked
main few people.
like. Okay.
It was like Kim something or something like that. Maybe. I don't know. Is Cutman a Luckman? It's got to be. Because Luckman, then yes.
Oh, here it is. Mega Man. But it says 2010. Like this was long before then. We might be
There have
thinking
been
of,
several Mega Man fan films. It's quite a popular character.
I mean, he could, unless he was like Mega Man in a different thing.
I know I saw
but it could have
something
been in
that
the
was
works
a
for
Mega
like
Man.
a really long time.
Maybe that's why you thought it was just a trailer too, back in 2006.
Yeah, I've seen this trailer, the trailer for this Mega Man thing before, and I think this was totally different from what I saw. Man, I want to find this now because what I saw, I don't think was actually a full thing. I wonder if it's on YouTube. But anyway, like that was, I don't even remember what brought that up, but that was like in the early days of internet video when like it was, when I saw it, I'm pretty sure it was pre-YouTube or at least before like YouTube was a really well-known thing. And like at the time I thought it was amazing. Like I was easily impressed by web video because like I was like I want to do stuff like that, like, and you know
I just fell all the way back down.
Man, this isn't your day with Mega Man 1.
I'm doing pretty good other than that, I think. I've only had to continue once.
You've gotten further than I could have ever done in a half hour.
Well, 15 minutes, really, because we were talking.
Man, I wonder if the one that I saw is somewhere on here. Because I see a few trailers.
Trident needs to find this film. This is like Try's Vision Quest. To understand that Mega Man film.
This is not what I saw. Like I can't, like, I feel like this would be like if the people behind this movie didn't mind that we like watched it live on stream, and like
Maybe if they sell DVD copies, we'll be able to rekindle their fire.
like I think that would be like really fun to do.
You know, it's really weird.
I know there's a lot of channels, you know, and even some friends of mine or ours or whatever, that do sometimes the kind of the watch something and comment on it, you know, type of thing. There've been a few that have done the, you know, the MST3K style where they don't do a cutaway of them with a tangent or anything. They just talk over something. That would be a lot of fun, I think, if the material was right, because that's usually, you know, just like Mystery Science Theater 3000. If the movie was too crappy, the commentary wouldn't save it. It was just crappy enough. You'd have some comedy gold.
See, I think this is the best soundtrack in the series.
I'm tempted to agree, I think, with that one. Though I do love me some Crash Man and in 2.
See, that's like my least favorite song in that game, probably.
I'm like Corey's least favorite person right now. I'm like, I like Mega Man 4 and up, Crash Man. Corey's like, why the heck did I bring you on?
I'm kind of with you, Duke, in a way. Like I feel like
I think Woodman
stands
is by far
out
the
as
best one.
Four and
Woodman's
up.
is good too.
Like I like 2 soundtrack, but in my opinion, it just like it doesn't even come close to Mega Man 3 soundtrack. Other than like Wily Castle 2 or Wily Castle 1 from 2 rather.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. I mean, don't get me wrong, like the whole soundtrack is great, but I just feel like 3's on the whole is better. The 3 would be my favorite of the NES games if it didn't have Mega Man 2 bosses in it. If there was less Mega Man 2 in my Mega Man 3, it'd be a better game.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because at the end of the game, you have to fight.
Yeah, and they're just really annoying, and they just kind of cause the game to drag a little longer than it should.
Do you have to fight all the Mega Man 3 bosses again, like you do in most castles?
Yeah, but you also have to fight the Mega Man 2 boss. You fight the Mega Man 2 bosses in the levels. Like you revisit 4 of the levels, and they're like remixed versions of the levels, and then you have to fight a mid boss that is taking the form of a Mega Man 2 boss, and then a boss at the end. They're just really annoying, kind of unnecessary, and just make the game drag. If it wasn't for that, like I think I would definitely say Mega Man 3 is my favorite NES one. But
see, I would probably agree with you. I think that I would like the game a lot more if
it's just too long.
I see Rare Foil in the chat, and you were just talking about him last night because you finished.
Yeah,
you saw his name go ahead.
His ears were burning, I'm sure.
I played Freedom. I played Freedom Planet yesterday. And when I no, Freedom Planet, and I was looking at the credits, I was like, "Hey, it's that guy!" Like, seriously, was that you?
Yeah, you specifically messaged me. I think it was like I was like already in bed when you messaged me. You was like, "Hey, I saw Rare Foil's name in the credits."
Well, it was like
And Corey's like, "I'm asleep."
It's like 12:30 when I finished the game.
Yeah.
I
You
was
played through
like,
that whole game
"Hey."
yesterday.
I knew that. I played through like a ridiculous number of games yesterday. Like, I was
Gotta get that backlog down.
yeah, I was needing some backlog progress. I was really wore out from this week, and honestly, I needed a day like that. Like I was on Saturday yesterday. I was like near the end of Kirby Planet Robobot, not too far from the end of Star Fox Guard. And in addition to that, I played through the entirety of Ninja Gaiden Shadow on Game Boy, which is really short and fairly easy, and the entirety of Freedom Planet, which is not that short. It was in some ways a little longer than I thought, because like the last level has like 4 phases, like 4 separate levels, like the whole climax of the game. But
I like games when they're short enough that you can sit down and enjoy them, but there's enough there that you can really sink your teeth into playing. And I think that's why the Mega Man games, they're short, but there's enough there that even when you get to Wily's Castle, like you still got some time to put in.
Yeah.
You still got work.
But yeah, so I played through I played through 4 games yesterday, but I finished 4 games yesterday that I got those off my backlog, and that felt good. I needed that.
I picture your backlog is actually in this like corporate presentation style like canvas thing, and every time you finish one, it's this big magic marker just crossed off the list.
But well, I'm trying so hard to stay under 100 unfinished games, and Corey's got 4 games that he is, Corey is visiting this week. He's bringing 4 games that he has found for me over the past several months. He actually brought them to Dave's house when we met up for Too Many Games, and man, he did not want to take them back. And I told you, before. I said, don't bring those games, because then I'll have less games I can buy at Too Many Games. And I said, look, you can bring them if you want, but I might not take them at that time.
So did you sell them to him, or are you just borrowing these 4 games?
I'm giving them to him. I got them for different reasons.
They were really cheap, and we find stuff for each other over time, so it probably more or less evens out.
Man,
that was murder. That was.
I didn't even know if that was possible or not. I was kind of interested to see if that was going to happen.
If the police came to that boss room, they'd be like, "This was a murder-suicide.
Yeah,
he killed Iceman and then he died. I mean, there's no way Iceman killed him. They'd be wrong." So is that a success? Would Wily like rebuild Iceman, or whatever, and like give him a promotion? Like, congratulations, you killed Mega Man. Now you can run your ski resort again.
Yeah, I'm doing okay, I think.
I forget what I was playing the other day, but that happened to me too, where I had gotten like the last hit on something, and then I died at the same time. I think it was Mega Man Legends actually. I'm playing through that again, and I killed something and didn't realize there was a bomb or something. Like died right at the same time. I was like, oh crap.
Oh, I have a really good recent story like that. Actually, when we were playing for the Backloggery fundraiser marathon, we were playing G.I. Joe, and I was on the last boss, and the last boss has this transformation beam that, I don't know, turns you into like a lizard or something. I forget exactly what it was. And like my last shot connected with him, and he started blowing up, and I got hit by the transformation beam, and I fell. My lizard or whatever I turned into fell into the pit below, and like I was like clearly dead. And when the screen faded, I had no idea what was going to happen. And the end played. I'm like, yes, yes, because it took me some work to get through that last level.
You guys were up almost all night playing, like almost specifically that. I feel.
Yeah,
like.
we were playing that for a good number of hours. The last bit of that game was no joke.
It doesn't sound like it.
That was a good feeling. Like I just had never seen like such a perfect moment of like being unsure what was going to happen, especially because it was the last boss. And I just can't believe that they gave me the ending in that case. Like, and I was dead in the worst possible way. I was transformed into a lizard and fell into a pit that I think had some sort of, incineration, whatever underneath it. I was like dead in the worst possible way, and I still beat the game.
This right here might be one of the hardest parts of the game. It's like getting through this, like the timing of it. This is something right here that would be very difficult, like on an LCD TV. I guess not. Like if it was like
I don't
one
really
hit
know
kill,
how to
it'd
do
be
it
fine.
regardless.
If you had the power slide from the later Mega Man games.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like my stance on
one hit.
My stance on like the added complexity that later NES Mega Man games gave it. I like the slide charge beam. It's not like I hate it, but I don't like it.
Man, oh man.
I just don't really understand the point of it. Like it's just an extra thing that you have to do, and I think would have been better if they just balanced the enemies so that one shot, multiple shots worked as well or better than charge shot. But whatever. But yeah, I'm with you. Like four is still pretty tough. Like 5 and 6 are pretty easy, but they're just more fun to replay. Like if you just want to like relax and play a Mega Man game, like 5 and 6 are where it's at. Like
because they're not really that hard.
They're not going to stress you out. Like, and I do like some challenge in my Mega Man, but like you have to be in the right mood for it. And 5 and 6, they're there for you if you just want some Mega Man comfort food.
If you want to find wine, you play the first Mega Man game.
I don't know.
You want a can of soda, you play Mega Man 5.
Yeah.
That was an analogy from the happy video game nerd, Stop Skeletons. Now he said that about Final Fantasy Mystic Quest.
Oh.
Like, okay, if you want a fine beverage to end your evening with, you play Final Fantasy 2, 4 or 3, 6 or whatever. But if you want to just have the JRPG basic can of soda, RC Cola, you play Final Fantasy Mystic Quest.
So somebody said that the magnet beam works here. I thought I saw somebody say the magnet beam. Maybe?
Yeah, I saw that a couple times in the chat. So
yeah.
Does it make a barrier?
No, I didn't.
Oh no, just jump up, just jump on it. Yeah.
Huh.
That's a cheat, not a feature.
Thanks for whoever said that. I never even thought about that.
But in truth, I would say that my favorite Mega Man is probably Mega Man 9. Like it has the best, like it goes back to the basics, but also like takes the more refined game design that they, obviously learned later. And it just comes across like just really, they just really figured it out well. Mega Man 10, for whatever, I'd never liked as much as 9, which made me sad. Like, it's not bad. And I don't know if it's just because they, had done it before, the whole revisit the NES style thing,
right.
but it just never grabbed me in the same way. It does have Sheepman though, which is big points in its favor.
So should we tell people like next week that we'll both be streaming from your house next Sunday? We're going to be together.
Have we even talked about what we're going to play? I can't remember if we've.
I got something we're going to play.
You do know Corey's coming over, right?
I've already decided what we're playing.
I think so.
Wait,
what are we playing?
I kind of want it to be a surprise for the chat, but I've already.
Oh, okay. Have you talked to me about it? I don't remember.
I tweeted about it yesterday.
A certain game?
Yes.
I'm too lazy to go look right
That's
now.
all right. I'll tell you afterwards.
Is it a game you're bringing or a game I have?
I'm going to bring it. Should we just tell people? Or should we want it to be
I want to know, so just tell me.
All right. We are going to play Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know what that's for.
So, I've always heard it was good,
and I'm not a Mortal Kombat fan at all, so this is funny.
I love that the first sound that I actually heard of this Mega Man game through all this audio was Dr. Wily's UFO. It's like that should be the Amber Alert sound because you can hear it through anything.
So, Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks is amazing.
Oh.
No, I'm serious.
I saw you tweet something about how surprisingly good it was.
I'd always heard that it was pretty good, but
like what like I'm thinking of some Mortal Kombat spin-off like Sub-Zero or whatever, which is terrible.
So imagine this. This is what it's like. It's essentially it did like Batman Arkham style combat like before Batman Arkham.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And
what
on top of that is 2 players simultaneous.
Well, what system's it for?
It's on the PS2 and Xbox.
So which version do you have?
I have the original Xbox version.
Well, you need to bring a controller because I only have
that's what
an
I
Xbox
thought.
controller.
I thought that was going to be the
Well,
case.
I've got 2, but the other one I'm not sure if it's even usable.
What did they call the original Xbox controllers? The Duke?
Yeah, they did.
I've got one, but I've never really. My Xbox experience is actually very, very limited.
I kind of want.
I have one. I have a stack of games where I couldn't tell you what games they are.
Do we want to tell people what project we're going to be working on while you're here? Or is that a secret?
Do we want it to keep it a secret? I think it'll be a pleasant surprise for people. But at the same time, we only have 150 people watching here. It might be good because I thought I was really rushing to get an episode done by Friday, and I don't think it's going to happen. So it's going to be a week after that for a shorter episode, even because I just don't have time. I've gotten a ton of freelance work recently, and it's just been pretty. Oh my gosh.
So Corey's working right now on just a game focused episode. It's really about mostly about a single game. It's a before and after.
Yeah.
It looks like it's going to be really cool, but even though it's going to be a simple episode, you're probably not going to have time to get it done before you come here because you're coming here on Wednesday.
Right.
And
I guess let's tell people what the project is. It takes.
Okay.
I want to know.
So the project we're working on, I'm sure some people here are familiar with Limited Run Games.
Which is a company, not.
I actually have one right here.
An
I just got it. I haven't opened it yet. They are publishing physical copies of indie games for PS4 and Vita right now. Hopefully, they might do some more later. But this is a physical copy with a disc in it. I'll go ahead and actually no, I don't want to open it up because I was thinking that might be
I'm screwed. I have to kill myself.
Might be a good shot for the video. So I'm not going to open it right now. But so they're making these physical copies of games that normally would be digital only, and so it's really cool. And so we even though they're modern games, I think there's definitely a retro spirit behind what they're doing.
Right.
And So we thought that was cool, and you know, when I discovered that their office is relatively near me, we just reached out to them and said, hey, you know, like could we come visit and make an episode on you guys? And they said yeah, that'd be great. And in fact, they were even a little bit aware of our show. I don't know to what extent. They said definitely aware of your videos. So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
That sounds like an email I got once asking me to join a YouTube network.
But anyway, so yeah, we're going to do like a little mini documentary on them, and it's going to be cool. There's going to be we also did like some sort of interviews with people at Too Many Games. Like you know, a lot of people. A lot of sort of man on the street sort of situations, and you know, just talking to some random people, but also some like pretty big YouTube people. So there's going to be some interesting like cameos in there, sort of as little sound bites, like, you know, just like. Because the whole thing is about like, you know, what people's perspectives are on digital distribution and physical media, and those propeller guys are never going to come back down. If it gets in this phase, you're screwed.
Thanks. See, I didn't have to wait 30 seconds to hear that.
I know this because I played through this game in March, and I had bad experiences here. But the problem
What the hell
is,
happened there? Oh,
no,
I was misreading your weapon ammo as your health.
But the problem is, I think you need the magnet platform gun or whatever it is to actually to get through the next room. So if those propellers get in a bad pattern, you're screwed. Like, that's definitely one of the flaws of this game. But you know,
somebody said in the chat that there's regenerating ammo capsules somewhere in this level, and to use that for magnet beam. So yeah, those two right there, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, they come back and
you could probably just keep coming down the ladder, and they'll probably be there again.
Oh, do they regenerate there?
Let's see. They do.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Hey, 8-bit do.
Well, so this game's not as mean as I thought it was.
Oh, you have to get the magnet beam to beat the game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's no other way to get through this room, is there?
Well, don't you just get it automatically at the end of the
you
level?
can get it here early in the level.
Okay. I always thought you had to get it at a Luckman stage.
Here we go.
There is one optional gun, I think, though, right? For this game? That you don't have to get?
No, that's the magnet gun.
Oh, I thought there was something else.
Oh, it's that yellow devil.
Yellow devil.
Better get your fiddle.
How good are you at this fight?
Well,
we're about to find out.
Yeah.
Live.
I just played through the Game Boy Mega Man 5. Which the US version of that game is really expensive. So I at Too Many Games I bought the Japanese version, which is called Rockman World 5. I like the idea that the Japanese versions of the Japanese versions of the Game Boy Mega Man games are distinguished like that. They're called Rockman World.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of cool because ours is just called Mega Man 5, which, you know, is confusing. But Mega Man 5 on the Game Boy is interesting because it like has a completely unique set of bosses and levels, and you know, it's not derived from the associated game of the same number as the others are, or at least I say that. I haven't, you know, that's just based on what I have seen. I've not played those games myself. Always thought they didn't look very good, but Rockman World 5 is actually like super legit. Like, if you like the NES Mega Man games, you should play that game.
Which one is his hand the power the charge
That's
thing.
5.
That's 5. Okay, that's what I remember. Is the one thing I remember about the Game Boy Mega Man games is his hand comes off.
I don't know. I don't know
one
if
of them
the
at
others
least.
do that, but the beginning of the game, of course, I was playing the Japanese version, so I wasn't sure what was going on. But like as soon as you start the game, you're in Dr. Light's lab or Dr. Wright's lab to be more specific, because they do call him Dr. Wright. Like at the beginning of the game is Dr. Light like explaining to Mega Man like how to use his
You guys see
throwy
that?
fist
You
thing.
see that?
That was pretty good.
No,
That was-
pause, trick.
Oh, you're doing the trick.
No, I did
No,
it
he
legit.
didn't. That's what I mean.
Yeah. I have
Boom.
never
My
done
life
the
ain't-
pause trick.
My
I don't
legit
even fully
Live
know
my
how
life
you
in
did.
pause tricks.
Yeah. So it's a really good game.
Then I do that.
But there was a Yellow Devil fight in it, and it was like super easy.
The Green Devil in Mega Man 8 is also very easy, I believe.
Oh yeah.
It's a similar concept, but Mega Man 8 is also is like easy.
And Mega Man Powered Up on PSP, the Yellow Devil,
Then I died twice on this opening segment.
the Yellow Devil has these his voice clips, and he goes boo-bo, 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 boo-bo.
That's disturbing.
Yeah, sounds amazing.
It was not until recently that I think I ever understood what any of the Mega Man 8 bosses say, like when you fight them, and because I could never like hear it well as a kid, I guess, or whatever. But I was playing through it again a couple months ago, and you fight Clown, and he's like, when you kill him, he's like, "See you in my dreams." I'm like, "You're dead." What? I don't get it. It's kind of like I was a pretty dumb kid, I guess. I was watching the.
I mean I can't understand like dialogue very well.
My problem was picking up sarcasm in text games. Like I was watching the speedrunnings done quick stuff yesterday, and they did Super Mario RPG in about 3 hours, which I learned a lot about that game. But the beginning of the game, when you fly back into the house and you're hanging on your coat rack, and Toad comes in, he's like, "Hey Mario, people use a door to get into their house or not?"
Yeah.
As a kid, I never understood that. I thought Toad was like, "Yeah, there's a cool new thing called a door." I'm like, Toad's an idiot. I was probably like 15 when I got that joke.
Well, Mario RPG was a big revelation for me because it was the first, like, I was not into RPGs. Like, I wasn't even into Zelda yet. Like, I had played those games, but I was just like, I don't understand. This just doesn't seem fun. like for Young Try, the further removed a game was from Mario, the less I wanted to play it.
Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, I think that was true for a lot of people.
Like I was into platformers. That's what I was into. There were other games I really liked, like Marble Madness and stuff. But for the most part, I played platformers, and like Zelda and RPGs. Like I just did not get the appeal at all. And but so I'd watched a friend play a good bit of Final Fantasy 4 and 6. Of course, we called them 2 and 3 at the time.
Is it just the regular gun that is good against the clone?
That's what I use. Because I think he switches to whatever you use.
Right.
Just use the guts arm on him, then and arm wrestle him to death.
Yeah, I don't remember. I feel like it's either that or fire.
But yeah, so for like, I just was like, I don't understand this. This doesn't look fun. Of course, I'm way into RPGs, and Zelda is possibly my favorite series. But at the time Mario RPG came out when I was 12, and I felt such a commitment to Mario games and all that I just like, well, I have to play this game. Like, it looks amazing, but I'm kind of concerned that, because I remember asking a friend of mine, I said, what the heck does RPG mean? And he said, I think that means it's like Final Fantasy. I'm like, dang it. So, but I was like, I have to try it. I have to try it. Broaden my horizons,
Thunder.
which, you know,
Maybe it is
obviously did
Thunder.
later.
Someone,
Said fire.
8-bit Gnosis says in the chat to try Bomb, Fire, or Thunder according to
I always use
a
fire,
random
I feel
fact.
like.
And then someone else said that if you do a slight hop and you fire the 3 shots off, you might be able to knock them around enough that they won't hit you.
But my story with Toad, in other words, so I really didn't know what I was doing when I ran Mario RPG for the first time. And, you know, when Toad says, you know, well, go back to Bowser's Castle and get her back.
Darn it.
I think you just use the Mega Buster. Do it
No,
legit.
I don't feel like I ever used the Mega Buster on them. I feel like it was always like that was the recommended way, and I never used it.
But anyway, so Toad says, you know, go back to Bowser's Castle and get her back. Well, I already knew, like, I had read, like, in Nintendo Power, like, the setup for the story is that, you know, the sword falls from the sky and Mario, Bowser, and Peach all get flung in different directions. So I knew she wasn't in there. I knew Bowser wasn't in there. And so I was like, why would I go back? So I go to the world map, and, you know, it's showing the line from Bowser's Castle to Mario's house. And, you know, I was used to world maps and games, but you generally wouldn't go back. You only go forward. So, like, I was stuck for, like, at least 30, 40 minutes. Like, and all you have to do is go to Bowser's Castle and trigger an event. And then you can go back to Mario's house. But, like, it was the first game that I'd played that was, like, event-driven, where you had to, like, follow a sequence of events. And, I'd never really played, like, a story-based game before. So that was, like, a completely new experience, and it seems so dumb looking back now, but, so that's my story of being dumb with Toad and Mario RPG.
I didn't know
remember
until
thinking,
it was like rhythm based until isn't like the you can hit a button during the attacks like on the beat of the music.
But I wouldn't call that rhythm based.
Well, it has, I don't know, like it's part of the battle system.
Well, yeah, but it's not rhythm; it's timing.
Yeah, but I didn't know that was even a thing. I even played through the whole
couldn't
game and finished it without knowing that.
Oh, well, Toad tells
You mean
how
you
to do
told the
that.
Toad you didn't know about timed hits?
Yeah, Toad says, do you know about timed hits? And if you say if you say yes, then he turns around to the Goomba and says, you better watch out. He knows about timed hits.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been a long time. I must have just missed it.
Oh wow, that the game must have been kind of hard for you then.
Yeah, it was challenging. I can't believe, what is going on? I like did the yellow double, like no problem. Then it's like, everything else is, might as well just.
You got to get good, man.
Well, I'm just gonna film myself.
But
Well, don't do that.
I mean, I think I can beat this. I think I can beat this before the end of the stream.
But I do remember like Mario RPG thinking like, wow, I like the guy who wrote this game should write like every game because it's so funny. Little did I know it was Ted Woolsey.
I think it's hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, little did I know Ted Woolsey was writing a bunch of Super Nintendo RPGs at the time. But, well, little try getting into RPGs was an interesting experience.
Duke, he had to ban somebody.
Well, I was going to say about shout-outs to every moderator in the group tonight because they're all working hard. It's we got a couple people having a little too much freedom stick with their keyboard.
Man, get it. There he goes. Sheesh. I have no idea what my deal is. I don't remember this level being so hard. That's for sure.
Well, the Mega Man boss is a tough one. I mean, I'm impressed that you're this far in only an hour. Like, I didn't think you were planning to play through the whole game, but
I wasn't. But then I'm like, oh, I guess maybe I will, because
you're making good progress.
Yeah. I mean, what else am I gonna play? Karnov. I was thinking about playing Karnov.
You could after you finish this. You might have time.
If I have time, I'll play Karnov.
Did you get that
familiar?
too many games?
No, I've had that for a long time, but
okay. I'm not.
I use the music from it in the episode.
Oh, that's right. I'm not that familiar with it.
Somebody asked if we had played the Mega Man 7 and 8 D-makes. I have not played the 8 D-make, but I have played the 7 one, which was awesome. Because Seven's an interesting Mega Man experience for sure. I don't dislike it as much as a lot of people, I think, but the D-make was certainly a more fun experience gameplay wise. I like 8 though.
I think I've expressed this before, which is surprising for a lot of people. 7 was my first exposure to Mega Man. Which a lot of people would pity me for. None of my friends, none of my relatives, no one I knew played Mega Man until I moved in '94, and some friends of mine rented Mega Man 7 several times. That was my first exposure, and since then, playing through it myself, I like it a fair bit. The only thing that I really don't like about it is Dr. Wily's final form, which is by far the hardest part of any Mega Man game. It's just really unfair. But it's a good game. I like it. I like the music. One of the things I like the most about it is just how it looks. Like, I love the sprites. Like the character sprites.
It is one of the most colorful Super Nintendo games.
Yeah,
sure. I mean, and it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I love this, but like the sprite work in Mega Man 8, in my opinion, is a big step down. Like, I don't like something about Mega Man's pose in 7 just looks like he's like really ready
he's just
to go for action.
Dr. Wily, why must we fight?
Yeah, and then in Mega Man 8, he just kind of like has this like half-hearted, like half-clutched fist. But in 7, he looks like ready to go.
Yeah. Well, it's a more actiony pose than the NES ones, where he's just kind of like arms down at the side. Like,
yeah. Like
I'm gonna be in every Perler sprite of any modern character. This is the pose that they will have.
But like I think all of the characters look really cool in Mega Man 7, much more so than 8. I mean, 8 look fine, but I just feel like it's a step back visually from 7. I just like 7
the sprites
a
are this.
whole lot.
I don't know which one came out first. Did Rockman and Forte come out before Mega Man 8? Because it's the same sprite.
I think it came out after, which is wild to think of a PS1 sprite on Super Famicom.
And it looked as good as it did.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Rockman and Forte came out after 8. I'm pretty sure. Which would be crazy, but they were releasing Super Famicom games in Japan for longer than they were here.
Yeah, I mean, what was the latest Super Nintendo game you can think of? Harvest Moon in '97 is the only one I can think of.
Kirby's Dream Land 3, I'm pretty sure, is the last game that Nintendo published in the U.S. I don't know if someone else might have. I forget.
When was that? I can't remember.
It was either 97 or 98. 98. Let me look that up. There was
98 or 99 almost sounds right for me for Dreamland 3.
Dreamland 3 is wow. It actually came out in the U.S. first. It came out late '97 in the U.S. and then it came out in March '98 in Japan. I want to say
People are saying Street Fighter Alpha 2.
Oh, that
last
might be the last one. Yeah, that game has insane load times in it.
For a cartridge game on the Super Nintendo?
Mm-hmm.
Loading?
Yeah, I mean, even Out of This World had loading too.
So I want to say here. Let me look at this up if I am correct. I don't know if it was the last
This level
Super
was so easy.
You're already at the boss again.
I don't know if it was the last Super Famicom game, but it was definitely one of the last, if not the last.
It's
gonna be Fire Emblem Thracia 776, which I've always heard is the hardest game in the series. It kind of has an interesting release history. It was released to they had this flash cartridge thing that you could take to like a kiosk or something and like have a game burned on it. I don't know if you're familiar with that for the Super Famicom.
That's pretty neat.
And,
I know they did that with like the disc system stuff. They were like blank disc system.
They have these blank cartridges. I think you could have several games on them. Actually, you can actually go to eBay and buy some of those cartridges that already have like a couple of games on them.
Now, would those be considered multi-carts?
I think like I think the labels have room for like 6 games or something like that. But yeah, like it actually burns it to the, I guess it would be RAM, not ROM. I don't know what kind of memory it is on the cart exactly. I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't even know how to fix the batteries in my Super Nintendo game, so I probably couldn't figure that. That's actually I need to do that. The one game that I own, 2 games I own, I know need new batteries. Pokemon Red on the Game Boy. Mm-hmm. And my copy of Super Mario RPG, the battery's dead on it.
I saw I don't use Facebook, but I sometimes look at the Facebook pages for local game stores because that's like the closest thing they have to.
That's when you find out when they've got a deal. They'll be like, "We got this cool new deal in. Gonna call for prices." Like, "We didn't you just post the prices?"
Of course. Like anytime they get like some like game that people actually want, by the time I call, it's already gone. That's why I'm kind of mad that they post stuff on Facebook. But one of my stores made a post saying that they have replaced every single Pokemon battery since the store opened. Like when it comes in, they replace it right away. Like they keep the soldering iron hot all day. That's something I do.
The Pokemon games are just coming in like hotcakes.
That is something I want to learn how to do. Is replace my own batteries, because I've actually never even had someone else replace a battery, and I know several games of mine need it.
There's a hot tip coming in from one of the game pros in the chat, Corey, and they suggest not using the blocks on this boss until he's at half health.
Okay.
Yeah,
right. Okay.
He gets faster as it goes on, and the blocks are probably the easiest way to hit him.
Got it. Oh, and I gotta not use Elect Man because it can destroy the blocks.
Oh,
it's too late.
they don't. The blocks don't come back when you die.
Nope.
But anyway,
Mega Man was a cruel mistress.
What I was saying about Fire Emblem Thracia 776, it released for the Flash Cart service in September 1999, but then they released a physical copy in January 2000. Super Famicom game released in 2000. Can you imagine? It's crazy.
I'm gonna do it without anything. But they're just the Mega Buster.
Oh yeah, that's authentic right there. You can
We'll see.
8bitdo.
Well, we'll see. Maybe it's not gonna happen. There we go. Whew.
Yeah,
That's the last
nothing but
level.
the Mega Buster and your cheating 8bitdo controller.
Cheating
Your
features.
turbo button.
Yeah, that's
Turbo.
true.
Your
I-
turbo do.
I guess I am not doing it legit, am I?
Are you? Do you think you're starting to rely on that a bit?
Well, in this playthrough, absolutely. I'm
You-
I'm just showing off the features.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
You're showing off the cheats.
Yeah.
Nah, feature, it's a cheat.
Oh man,
Oh,
Corey,
we're joined by the bad
the
graphics,
bad
gamers.
graphics.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
They're gonna be on stream sometime with us.
That's
I was gonna set it up so that they come here, then we'll play like multiple things. With us. Maybe they can bring some.
Come to Club Carlson itself.
Yeah,
Club cards.
that's true. Maybe
I
they
still
can,
can't believe that.
they can play some of their rare games. Man.
My favorite Xbox controller, Blade Blur, is the Duke because A, well, obviously. B, it's the only one I know.
The Duke.
I do
That's-
want I do want a Duke controller just to have it.
I really
I'll sign one.
want to
I'll
have
sign
too.
one for you.
Oh, okay.
So speaking of the Xbox, I guess I should talk about my little kind of find that I had this last
Yeah, I
Friday.
saw you tweeted about some
Hang on.
sort of device that transfers signal from the device to a display.
Yeah. So there was official component cables that were made. The first one was like this kind of dongle. Then you plug your own component cables into it.
Which
he has-
sounds kind of cool in theory.
It sounds kind of cool, but I mean, then you're just kind of, at the whim of whatever component cables you're using. But later on in the lifetime of the system, they released a set of component cables that were just like a standalone. They're really heavy duty. Standalone.
They have like a fiber optic breakout.
Oh, it's not even a breakout. It's like in the actual piece that connects to the system. It's pretty neat. Anyways, apparently these are really like hard to find, and they're
Like the
considered
Xbox cables to get. So
yes,
you've heard.
yes. And my friend Joey and I were at a local store, and we
I
were
think
kinda-
Joey's in the chat.
Yeah, he
At
was.
least he
here
was earlier.
Yeah. Well, we were there, and we were kind of like looking. He knows the owner, so we were kind of like looking in the storage room. And man,
That's a hard jump. That's
I
a
know.
hard jump.
I just got to use the magnet beam. Is what I got to do. I'll do that next time.
You got to feature your way through this level.
Anyways, I had been kind of in the market for these component cables because I knew that we'd need them for the eventual Xbox episode anyways. And I was really curious if there was a difference because a lot of people are saying like, oh, those $6 ones you get off of Amazon are really, really not good at all.
And that's what I've got. And
that's what I had too.
There's visually it looks fine to me, but I haven't used it like super extensively. But the problem,
Or probably seeing the official first party cables side by side too.
Right.
Because maybe that's the eye-opening
yeah,
bit.
I mean
like,
it's probably got some noise in it. The big problem with my cables are that left and right are swapped, which is an easy fix. Obviously, just swap them yourself. But the bigger problem is that there's definitely a bit of audio buzz in the line. So
Yeah, that's the thing with cheap cables is sometimes just there's no shielding to any of it. And
Yeah.
with how complicated people's
depending
setups
on-
can be,
depending on
sometimes
your
you're running it
setup,
right
that
next to
can-
power.
depending on your setup, that can be totally fine. But
Oh yeah. But if you've got that huge ass extension cable from 1997 still right next to your component cables, I could see that being a little a little hummy.
Yeah, well, and my Xbox is the longest run to the Framemeister, so I've got quite an extension on it anyway. So I can't say for sure if some of my audio issues are caused by the long run or just the quality of the cables. I'm guessing the cables. But yeah, that's cool. Like I wish.
I didn't finish the story even.
Oh yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We were in the back room, and I saw, like, in the corner of my eyes, I saw a set of these component cables, just like behind a whole bunch of things, and they were like new in box. And I guess they sell for like around like $70 on eBay right now.
Used.
God, it's the Xbox, not the GameCube. I mean, come on.
Man, I'm like focused on the story. Anyways, I got them for $5, brand new.
Like, how did that deal? Like,
Do you have Game Dave come in and ask if he can do 5?
Well,
Those are the cleanest
did the
components
guy
of
not
cables
really
you'd
know
ever
what
seen.
did the guy not really know what he had?
I just don't think he really cares. I mean, nobody is really going to like places like that probably to buy just like nobody is really going to go to a place like that and look
component
for
on the Xbox is not in high
cables.
demand. Yeah.
Yeah, they might be in high demand.
People are just going to buy those ones that you can plug that have the 3 outs that you can plug into your PS2 as well or something. I think I've got ones like that.
But those are
I
wouldn't trust those like at all.
I don't either because I had a set like
They
that.
might be convenient, but I mean, I have no idea like how.
Yeah, I mean, I let me put it this way: I have a bunch of those, but I also have a bunch of non-ones like that. Not for the Xbox, for the PlayStation 2. I have normal PlayStation 2 component cables. I don't know if they're any official or not. They were $10 at a mom and pop shop near me here in the Delaware of Ohio.
But that was only one half of my.
Your haul.
Well, I mean, I got like other things when I was there, but if you remember, if anybody was here for the Game Dave stream, when we were at Game Dave's, I was talking about the component cables, the GameCube component cables, that I wanted to get at too many games, and ended up not getting.
Right.
Anyways, our friend at Badass Consoles contacted us and said, "Oh, I got a set. I'll sell you." So I had some money in my PayPal, and I just did it.
You did it.
Yeah.
You pulled
So
that
now-
trigger.
So now, once those cables arrive, tell us what's going to happen.
What's going to happen? I don't know.
You're going to have no composite or S-video in your setup
That's
anymore.
true. Yep, I'm going to be
That's a beautiful
completely
thing.
component or RGB. If it's going to send me back, please don't send on me. Oh, it's going to send me all the way back to Batman.
It will. This is a tough boss rush.
This
Like-
is a gauntlet.
Like Fireman, like I don't even know. I have no strategy for Fireman.
Yeah.
Like you gotta get through all 4 of these and Wiley.
Really?
Yeah. Wiley's
Why
part of the same.
do I not remember that?
Yeah, Wiley is part of the same
With
level. He's a-
no.
What trauma does an interesting thing to the mind, Corey?
I think there's some health pickups at the top, but
Oh, there better.
yeah,
be.
it's rough. It's rough. Well, I think if you have lives left, you continue at Wiley, I think. But I'm sure you do. But the level, if you lose on the level, you still have to
Man.
fight the robot
Is
masters again.
Gutsman the last one? Yeah.
I think there's
is he the 4th?
4.
Because you've already fought
Yeah, I've already fought.
Cutman and Elecman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the importer in the chat also is on the same brainwave as me. It's like, it's a repressed memory, Corey. That's why you don't remember Wiley being at the top.
Yeah, it's a lot of the games put Wily in a separate level from the boss rush, which is always a nice treat.
The suggestions are the select trick and the select trick.
Well, I don't know. Like I'm just showing off the features of the controller. It doesn't have rapid fire on the select button. I can't do it.
What does Gutsman have a weakness?
Yeah, it's bomb.
Okay. You got this. You got this.
It's a little hard to hit him with it.
Especially when, the NES just makes the boxes disappear.
Yeah.
How many lives you got left?
None.
Oh, this is your last one. Youch.
It gives me like is it a Lekman?
That's an energy and not a health. Oh my gosh.
What's the last weapon that I need? Is it a Lekman? I feel like it is.
I think so.
That's a safe
Not that it
bet, I
matters.
bet.
Let me look up Wily's weaknesses. I don't remember. The powered up Wily is interesting because he actually, like, it's the one time Dr. Wily actually uses the weapons of the Robot Masters. It's kind of cool. Like, he changes modes just like Mega Man and uses the weapons against you. And of course, as he changes modes, it's he takes on the same weakness as that Robot Master. It's a very interesting fight. Like, it's similar to this fight, but it's obviously quite a bit different too. Let me check what you need for Dr. Wily.
Come on, Mega Man. Gotta fight Dr. Wily.
That's a good question.
Does Proto Man's in that game, but does he talk or does he just lean against trees?
I don't remember. I was so disappointed because I got Mega Man 8 at Too Many Games, and I played just the beginning of it, and I was so disappointed that I guess it's not right at the beginning, the whole, but where is Dr. Wily? That's a good question. See the energy waves coming off of the whatever it is he talks about.
That's some evil energy.
And then we'll find Dr. Wily. I thought that was right at the beginning, but it's obviously not. But, I love that cutscene. But where is Dr. Wily?
Apparently, Dr. Light was voiced by Elmer Fudd.
I thought that was always like the general, yeah, he was.
I never really thought of that.
I've never thought, it's just a very unique voice.
Somebody said it in the chat.
To me, it's just a very unique voice. There's
very quiet. We're hunting Robot Masters.
There was this guy several years ago that did this video where he actually did a series of them where I think he called them face acting, and basically he took like some of the most infamously bad video game voice clips and basically mouthed
jumping
his,
on me.
like he played the
I had that too.
Oh, I hate it when he jumps to the other side of the room.
Yeah.
It's a croc.
You probably could have got him if you switched to Buster. But anyway, this guy made these videos. I think they went sort of viral, and he had like some of the worst video game voice clips, but he did like his own acting to them, like emoting his face, and I. Like, the funniest thing about the way that Dr. Light talks in Mega Man 8 is it sounds like the actor is like literally screwing up the line and they went with bad takes. And I never really noticed it until I saw the face acting video. But like the guy, he visibly stumbles as he's like going through this through Dr. Light's words, and it's pretty funny. Like, that's a good question, Mega Man.
8-Bit Notice has mentioned in the chat that it reminds him of Mega Man from Captain N, the Game Master, who just... I'm trying to think of how I could do the
Mega
voice.
everything. Yeah, that was...
Mega High!
You know, there was one
And-
episode of that show that was it was pretty good. It was like a Mega Man focused one, and it had music from the game in it.
Oh yeah, some of them were pretty.
remember
neat.
the Cutman.
The Zelda ones were cool. I always liked that the Eggplant Wizard was a character.
Yes.
He was a bumbling idiot, of course, but having to buy the DVD of that show to capture it for editing that segment for the video game years, that's one of the finer points in my career. Sitting there watching it all, like, just to capture it again, and of course it's like it's not a good like mastering. Like, it's like somebody downloaded the web, like, compressed versions and put them on the disc I bought, because they looked like just crap.
I always seem to make it on my last life with barely any life left.
Oh, you made it.
I did.
With
But
0 lives. This is
Hang
it.
on, let me check.
Someone said Fire for first and then Cutman for the second.
Oh, fire is good. Like, you just get. I remember. Like,
I know,
you basically
right
just
at
get
the
right underneath his shooty thing,
You get all up under
because
that.
the fire goes up,
Right.
and then cutter for the second form.
Fire doesn't go up. Oh.
Oh, well, they don't even give you any time for the transition to the second form.
Yeah. It's all right. I got him this time.
Yeah, you got him. You got
I'm
him.
going to beat this game in this stream, I feel like.
Oh, you
then
have
then that happens. I might as
you
well
have to
just-
do it. I mean, it's like you're so determined to do it, just like
Yeah.
Ghouls and Ghosts on Genesis.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to happen. But I don't want to get too cocky. I just really made a stupid mistake, so I'm just...
Wow, what were we talking about? I've lost track by now. But,
We were talking about Captain N for a second.
Captain, we're talking about Mega Man 8
Oh.
and
yeah,
voice
Like,
acting
why-
and all
why
that.
Why have they always gone for this like high-pitched voice for Mega
Even
Man?
in Mega Man Legends,
Yeah. Well,
was he?
yeah.
Was
Mega
Mega
Man. Mega Man. Isn't
Like,
that what
to some-
I'm playing through those games again now that they're on PSN,
Mhm.
and for some reason when I was in high school I let somebody borrow my copies and they broke them, and I've never bought them again. I've always really liked the voice acting in those games.
Oh yeah. It's phenomenal.
I'm playing
Yep.
through Tron for the first time since it's on PSN as well, and I love it. Just Tron yelling at the servbots is just comedy gold for me.
Yeah, from a gameplay perspective, that game is just okay, but like it's just got a lot of personality.
It's personality, but it's
like
a lot
those
of
games, like
mini.
you know, you're talking about Mega Man's voice being a little high in those games, but I'm just so used to the voices in those games, I don't really think about. Like, I'm mostly thinking like 8 is just like this really bizarre voice. Like, why?
Everything
Like, just doesn't
voice in
fit the
8 is
character.
a little weird.
Yeah, but
See what
but,
dreams.
but Legends, like those games just hold up so well in my opinion. Like,
Some people say the control schemes are weird, but you
thing is,
customize
they
it
were
however you
always-
want, and it's fine. Like,
yeah, well,
I have a layout that I
Legends-
like, and it works.
Legends 2 kind of blows my mind because its control scheme is like shockingly modern. Like, if you're using a DualShock controller, like the feel of the camera and aiming control on the right stick, like, feels much more modern than a lot of PS2 games even.
I think that my only thing with it is just it's a little too loose, but it's the first time I'm playing it with a DualShock. Is right now, so I'm trying to train myself not to hit L and R.
Yeah,
and use the stick instead. And I'm getting used to it. I just got past Forbidden Island on it, so
it's a great game.
Oh yeah.
Because I only played it for the first time maybe 6 or 8 years ago, when it was like still something you could afford.
Right. Probably the maddest I've ever been when my friend handed me this CD in half. I was like, "Oh, what'd you do?" And he's like, "Oh, here's your Mega Man Legends 2 back."
Why'd that happen?
He sat on it.
Oh god.
That's what he said.
Oh gosh.
I was just, I haven't talked to him since. He was the same one that he was over. We were hanging out once, and he just ruined all my stuff. He cracked my Lunar case.
What? Oh my gosh.
That should have been my first time.
But, yeah. So, but like the thing is, Legends controls were always like kind of a little different, but even back in their day, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But like it always kind of clicked with me. Like I'm not saying I'm like good at Legends or anything, but it. You know, it's just the control scheme never weirded me out that much, and I kind of enjoy it.
It definitely was better than Mega Man 64.
I mean, just because the controller is not really well designed for it.
In much of anything. I mean, I didn't say that.
You're going. Oh, you did get Gusman. I was looking at the wrong window.
Yeah, but I don't think that. Yeah, you gotta. It hasn't dropped any frames. Well, actually, it dropped 73 frames at one point. It looks like.
That's like 2 seconds.
Yeah, I feel like that's
spread that over 2 hours. That's fine.
Man.
Oh.
It's all right. It's all right. Hopefully, I get to start there. I do get to start there. Good.
Yeah, there's a checkpoint there.
Good.
That E-Tank ship, that's there, so you'll at least never run out of power. No, I've been trying to kind of do like a lot of capturing stuff lately on the old weekends and such when I have time. So I started playing through Beyond the Beyond again now that I've got a better way to capture it, and I've been playing Dragon Warrior 7. So much that I have both of them sitting here so I can swap them out when I get bored with one through the PlayStation 3. And I took about 2 weeks off from Dragon Warrior 7 and forgot what I was doing. And that's like the worst game to do that with.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, you can talk to your party members and they'll give you hints and stuff. Like, no, their mind is off somewhere. They don't tell me anything.
That game took me a number of months to get through, and like nowadays it's like not unusual.
You guys aren't even watching.
I am watching.
You won.
Good job.
Whew.
Look at that Wily grovel.
Yep.
And this will be the first time.
I always thought it was funny that like the NES sprite for Wily is kind of fat, but his artwork has always been like, you know, like thin and wiry.
Yeah. Maybe. I never really thought
I don't think there's such thing as a skinny sprite.
I love, you know, I love that the ending theme is like the beginning theme of 2.
Yeah, that is cool.
That is some continuity right there.
Mega Man 2 picks up exactly where Mega Man 1 left off.
The never-ending battle continues until all destructive forces.
See, that right there, I think, is a good testament to this controller.
Yeah.
To the responsiveness of it.
8bitdo, it can beat Mega Man.
Well, you know,
it's hey.
I mean, a lot of people consider this to be the hardest one, right?
I think that's a fair statement.
Yeah. I mean, like I say, it's shorter than the others, so your pain is short-lived. But
it's right. That is parallax scrolling right there. That's pretty good.
Well, it's probably fake to some extent. I mean, I don't think NES can truly do parallax.
There's that Mega Boy. I forgot this happened at the end of this game.
Yeah. Got that slicked hair.
Mega Man goes back to being a Kunio-kun poor man.
I don't know. He looks kind of like a hair makes him looks kind of like a greaser.
He looks
Yeah.
like Astro Boy.
Yeah, I bet you that was a big inspiration. Obviously.
I can
Yeah.
see that. They're both adorable.
Sound programmer Yuki-chan's papa.
That's funny.
And then they just live in like a dump.
Yeah, yeah. Seriously, it just saved the world. But I mean, it's the first one. Is this a hard lock? Or does
Yeah.
it not go back? Is this a?
This is
Oh no, it sends you back. That's interesting.
No. It's got
you can
loop.
you can replay Dr. Wily's stage as often as you like.
No. So let's play some Karnov. Hang on.
Karnov is like the drunken Russian game, right?
I don't know. So try. I've got an eBay watch list out now for Magician,
Oh, okay.
and I haven't found it for a price I'm willing to pay yet for anything other than a cart. But I'm keeping my eye open.
Yeah, that.
I want that game.
So at Too Many Games, Duke showed me a video of this NES game called Magician. Does anyone have experience with it? It looked very. You said that you remembered playing it briefly.
Yeah, when I was a kid, my first computer, I had an NES emulator on it. That's where a majority of my NES experience came from. Was this old Windows 95 box that just had random ROMs on it, and it didn't have the internet or anything. It just had this this floppy disk of games, and Magician was one of those games. And I would just pick one at random and play it. And that one, it just stood out in my mind because it was such a. There's like 3 frames of animation and everything. There's a lot of like actual good colors to it, and it was complex. Like as a kid, I didn't understand it, but going back to it now, I can actually get through it, or at least a little while.
Yeah.
Because it's got this, like, you don't really have weapons. You have spells, and you buy books, and then you have to arrange these runes in the menu to get all these different spells, and that's what you have. That's your attack. So you can kind of make your own magic in a way.
Yeah.
And get through all these crazy things, but the music's cool. The graphics are really
the graphics
one of the best on the NES.
There's a lot of like a lot of texture, and it has a very the world looks very lived in.
Yeah,
and it's just kind of like how I like to describe Xanadu, but it was even like a step above that.
Yeah, because even in Xanadu,
what are you talking about?
The NES game Magician. Which is something I was hoping to find at Too Many Games, but didn't. I've actually never seen it physically. I've only ever played it on an emulator. But in Xanadu, there's still a lot of some of the colors bleed into objects that aren't supposed to be that color, just as a limitation of the palette. I don't recall any instances in Magician where I've saw that happen. If something is supposed to be whatever color, green, brown, whatever, it is that color. And for how much stuff is going on in that game, it's impressive.
Is it only an NES game, or is it it's not like, because it looks like the kind of game that would be a PC port.
No, I don't. I think it's legitimately just an NES game.
Yeah, I mean it looks,
and which is impressive.
Looks really cool.
Yeah, I wonder if anybody has ever streamed Karnov on YouTube Gaming. You think?
I don't think too many people have played Karnov.
Probably not on NES with an 8bitdo controller.
Probably not. Or an RGB.
Or an RGB, yeah.
I wonder how many people have even played Karnov in RGB. Period.
I'm
the only one ever.
It's a sort of famous game, right? Like, so you're just like
it's
this.
More famous because he's like a boss in Bad Dudes.
Oh, that's right.
I forgot about that. So yeah, so you're like this angry, drunk Russian guy shooting fireballs out of your mouth.
Pretty much.
Like, it's not considered a good game, right?
No, I don't think so.
Do you think it's a good game?
I like it. I don't know if it's. I consider it to be like a good game, but I think it's pretty fun. I don't know. It's one of those ones like I rented as a kid and just kind of have a soft spot for it.
Mm-hmm. So, like, are you a bad guy doing bad things in this?
I don't think so. I think he's a good guy in this.
Are you a bad enough dude to play Karnov on YouTube Gaming?
Yeah.
So there's a question in the chat, not to derail too much, but somebody wants to know if they should buy or import systems to be able to play the exclusives for those systems. And of course, with like the Super Famicom, you can just rip take some garden shears to your SNES and rip those pins out. But a Famicom is a very interesting thing because they have the cart converters. I know you guys are fans of that.
Right.
Yeah. I think using the real system is a fun experience, but I don't think it's at all necessary. I actually just got my Genesis region modded.
For the second time, really.
For the second time, really, yeah, because Genesis region modding kind of requires two steps. One, you have to physically reshape the cartridge slot. Because the Mega Drive carts have a bit of a different shape, so you need to make it just a little bit larger to accommodate them. And most games, I want to say up to like 93-ish, I could be wrong on that date, but 93, 94-ish, most games were just that physical region locking.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so then later it became software-based region locking, which is crazy. Like that they would be thinking ahead. Like at that time, like who even knew what was in Japan? Like it just seems unnecessary to go to that length to region lock by software. So if you put a Japanese game and a North American Genesis, it'll say this is something to the effect of this is exclusively for use on the Japanese Mega Drive.
And it will do that for other stuff. Like I know Pulse Man does that. Say it's like.
And Reggie B. Cable pointed out something that somebody told me at Too Many Games, that if you have one of those oddly shaped cartridges, you just take the back off any crappy old sports game. Because the Sega
NES?
Genesis.
Are we talking N64?
I think it's N64. Maybe it's one. It's a cart. You can do that on some system that has physical carts.
Yeah.
I can't remember which one now, but that's interesting. Somebody told me that at Too Many Games. I can't remember who. Maybe it was Dave. Sounds like something Dave would know.
I saw one of the booths. I think it was one with your friend Carlson.
Oh yeah, the guy who runs Mad Gear.
The Mad Gear.
Yeah, I saw him telling someone like the options for playing N64 carts. I just buy like a $5 or less sports game that is in good condition and swap the back plates, because I've only got 2 import N64 games. So I just
the importer says that works for Genesis, N64, and Super Nintendo.
But I want to say that the Genesis cart problem is more the front side of the cart than the back side. But I could be wrong. But yeah, so physically reshaping the Genesis cartridge slot is step 1. Step 2, you either need a some sort of, I think there's something called some key something for the Genesis. Forget like a
license key that you type in, or
you're thinking of, right? The Mega Key.
I don't know, but I've heard that it's expensive, like this region unlocking device. So what I got a region mod in my Genesis recently from Retro Fixes.
There's a little switch on the back.
He just added a little switch to the back. I mean, he didn't just add a switch to the back. I mean, there's obviously something in the system.
He did a little more other work under the hood.
Yeah, but
we got somebody
so
saying
there's
they
just
bought the same wire racks as me. Those wire racks have been like one of the most popular things I've ever done. Yeah. Useful
But
magic.
anyways,
I'm glad you like them.
So I just flip a switch on the back of my Genesis and I can switch regions. And what's kind of funny is a lot of Sega games have like multiple regions on the same cart. And if I just recently tested the I've got right here the Power Base Mini FM, which is
I was going to ask about that.
Yeah, it's my first device that allows me to play Master System games.
Yeah.
So
your one Master System game that you have.
My one Master System game, Wonder Boy and Monsterland. And what's funny is if I have the switch flicked, it actually it has this screen before the Wonder Boy title screen comes up that says Sega Mark III. Yeah, and then the title screen is what's the Japanese title? I forget. It has the Japanese title instead of the
Wonder Boy 2.
Yeah, I don't know
Super
exactly
Wonder Boy
what
and
it
Super
was.
Monsterland.
Yeah, I think it's Super Wonder Boy and Monsterland or something like that.
Because the cartridge itself has a misprint on the label that says Super Wonder Boy and Super Monsterland.
Well, I think it's only some. I forget if mine has that.
I had one that had it. I no longer have.
I'd check, but my shelf is all the way over there. But and then of course the dialogue in the game is also in Japanese.
Yeah. I mean, it rarely goes the other way around though. I can't think.
Where
of
the
any.
American version isn't the Japanese version.
Right.
Yeah, because I was getting excited. I was like, ooh, what if I could buy a Japanese version of Phantasy Star?
Oh yeah. Nope.
I'm going to get that sometime. I'm going to get the U.S. version of Phantasy Star sometime.
Yeah, I feel like it's just something you should have.
It's something I should have, but it's expensive.
So a question I have, because of my limited Sega experience in general, but most certainly Master System experience, what is FM sound? And why do I want it so badly?
Corey would explain
it's just a different.
I
think it's just like there's two things. There's like the FM sound and the PSG sound chip.
Right.
I don't know if it's like in the
the
cartridge.
FM
Just
sound
you need a
chip is
device to play
basically-
it back. You need.
Isn't it like essentially Genesis sound hardware? Or maybe an early version of it?
Maybe.
Is it in stereo or something, or?
Well, you know how. Well, it's completely different sound.
Right.
Like,
There's a FM stereo sound chip or something, and it's like an add-on. You have to like plug it into the board.
It's like I would say it sounds somewhere between NES and Genesis.
Yeah, I mean, I like it, but I kind of like the regular PSG sound more, which is just like the general like regular sound chip. But
so
it's more of a novelty.
Try, you have the Power Base thing that lets you get this FM sound. So is that all you have to do to enjoy it on the Sega Master System games, even if you're going through the Genesis?
Yeah. And I can hear it. Now I forget. Do I have a choice, or am I forced to use it?
No, you can use. You have a choice.
Using this converter, or
Yes.
just by default?
Using that
Like,
converter.
is it part of the game or part of the converter that gives me the choice?
Well, it's on the cartridge, but you need to have the hardware, which is inside of the converter to play.
So how do I make the choice?
I think
it's like holding start or something.
You hold down.
isn't
Yeah,
it?
you hold down like pause or something, or the pause button or something when you're booting it.
Oh, the pause button is like physically on this,
Right.
because it's Master System.
I saw somebody ask me like what I thought of. Alex Neldon says, "What do you think of Phantasy Star 4?" It's very, very good. I can't wait to replay it. Actually,
Fi-
don't spoil anything, because Try hasn't played it yet.
Yeah, because I haven't
Oh,
played.
it's the only one. It's the only one I've played.
It is like
It is.
A pinnacle.
I played through it on the
16-bit era
Sonic Ultimate Genesis
RPG.
collection. That's how I played my Fantasy
You
Star.
played through the whole game?
Yeah, that's the only one. Fantasy Star 4 is the only one I've played through, and that was the way I did it. Was that on PS3?
Great game.
Yeah, I
love the
it's-
cutscenes. That's what I'll say. That was the
And
coolest
so
thing.
you
Was
have
how it
not
did
played any of
cutscenes.
these, Duke. You've never played.
I've played them, but I've not. Fantasy Star 1, I probably got about halfway through, and then 2 and 3, I've just dabbled in.
Okay.
Which I need to play them more because that's the style of JRPG that I really like. Much more of that almost Dragon Quest-y kind of side, rather than say Final Fantasy.
Right.
Final Fantasy sometimes we got a bit too fast paced for little old wee Duke.
Well,
Mighty Number 9 is the spiritual successor to Karnov.
maybe.
I wish you could upvote chat comments.
Like, let's start a hashtag. Maybe we can get bring back Karnov.
I would
I
tweet
love
that
it.
right
Like
now.
a Karnov remake.
Who would even have the
Reboot
rights to it
Karnov.
now?
I
It's
would
kinda like,
play a
if you-
Karnov reboot.
It's
Of course you would. I know you would.
I think that's the thing we should make happen.
Karnov is it's Karnov.
Prove there's a market for it. I don't think Data East isn't even around anymore. But I wonder who owns the Karnov IP. Do they know what do they even have any idea what the potential of it? Man,
I just tweeted a couple hashtags.
bring back Karnov.
We want Karnov.
Karnov
Bring
for
back
Smash.
Save
Due to
it.
popular demand, we are resuming DLC for one new character, Karnov.
The demand was too much.
Put it
So
on
much potential.
Karnov on the Wii U Virtual Console. Make it happen.
It looked like crap.
I don't know. We need like a game like this that we can just champion, kind of like, just like something that we can get behind and get excited about, and people will be like, oh, these guys are fighting to bring back Karnov, or fighting to bring back.
I
this
mean,
game.
I
Maybe
don't know.
that could be magician for me.
I think I'd be more excited about Russian Attack coming back.
Yeah, but I mean that got a. Didn't that
Current
got a
geopolitical
remake,
landscape
didn't it?
make that kind of touchy. I think it did. I think it had a very similar playing game at least.
Man, see, I mean, because look at this, it's you don't see main characters that are like Karnov.
No, you don't. You don't.
I mean,
needs to
he's
team up
fairly
with
unique
Wario.
in the pantheon of video game characters, I think.
I mean, like, what if there could be a Kratos and Karnov crossover?
Yeah.
Or what if there was a Karnov skin in the new God of War? Like
yeah.
that could be our cause that we champion.
Yeah.
Like, what if we could at least make that happen?
There needs to be a Project X zone where it's just Karnov.
Yeah.
And Kratos.
All
Some
the
Karnov
Karnovs
DLC.
have crossed over.
The Karnov crossover.
I'm like way too excited about this right now. The potential. I think all the levels have the same music too.
When's your Kickstarter launching for this, Corey?
Well,
And is anyone
The
actually
Karnov
going to
we gotta
sue
find
it?
out who owns it first.
They might not even care. You just do it and it's okay.
It's
Yeah.
true tribute. They'd be honored. They should be flattered. There's way too many K's in one row for that. That little line there.
Man,
We've already booted enough racists from this chat.
We gotta start a hashtag. Let it gain its own life. You know.
Karnov for Wii U.
Yeah, you know, we gotta see what we can do. I mean, I think of
Or
what?
best comment from Rick V. You're still on the second level. Are you a car novice?
That's a good one. That's good. I'm impressed. Yes, I am. I rented this game along with.
I want to know when Rick V's video game stand-up career launches, because that was funny.
When I rented this game as a kid, I rented this, and I think I rented like 2 other games along with it. Look at this boss. Look at this. Is like simple.
He's just walking his dog, and you're here just.
I rented this.
Karnoving all over him.
And like Milon's Secret Castle. And maybe that's why maybe that's why I kind of like this one a little bit more.
Yeah, because you had to compare it to Milon's Secret Castle.
Yeah.
Whoa! I'm looking at the box art for this game right now. It's like awesome.
Yeah.
Like everyone Google the box art for Karnov because he's shooting fireballs at dinosaurs, and it's really cool.
Dude, I mean, it's Karnov. Forget Pokemon Go.
Yeah, Karnov Go.
I feel like the T.
mighty Karnov died.
Man, next game over, I'm like done. I'm done.
But the T-Rex on the Karnov box art, I feel like his arms are kind of high up, but he's got like this kind of Godzilla looking face.
Milon's Secret Karnov.
We'll get a little bit more of a chance here.
We need to adapt Karnov to a carnalization.
The reason I am playing
novelization.
Karnov is I used music from Karnov in the 8-bit. The
8bitdo.
Yeah, in the episode.
Does this game have infinite continues?
Yeah.
Have you ever beat it?
No.
You need to make it a point to beat it.
I do
You
own
owe
it.
it to Karnov.
How many levels does it have? 6 or 8?
Let's go to the old game facts. Like it's not an expensive game, is it? It's not rare.
No,
right?
it's like probably $5 or less.
Why don't you have it?
I do have it.
Oh, I thought you said you don't have it.
No, I have it. I got it at a flea market.
Corey's making a coffee table out of Karnov carts.
Yeah. I'm cornering the market on Karnov. I'm gonna make it rare and expensive.
It's gonna be Corey's personal Earthbound.
I think I'm gonna make a point to be the only person out there that has all of the Karnov cards. It's gonna be,
Like that guy that wanted all the Shaq Fu carts or whatever.
yeah.
Looks like it's 9 levels, so it's not that short.
I'm on stage 3.
Next game over, I'm quitting. Karnov addicted is what Corey is. He can't give up.
Oh, I can climb that tree. I don't even need to have the. I like how slow it is.
Karnov goes where Karnov wants to be.
Yeah, he does what he wants to do. Nobody's gonna
So
tell
why
him
do
no.
you keep changing colors?
That's how many hits you have.
Oh,
Like
well,
you-
so you're like a boss. It's just like a boss.
Yeah, I guess that's a good way to put it.
You're Karnoving like a boss.
Yep. You can climb trees. Look at he's got like an awesome mustache.
Whatever his mustache style
He
needs
kinda
to be,
looks
I
like somebody.
petition
I feel like I've
that
seen
we
somebody that looks like him.
we need to make whatever that mustache style is to be called the Karnov.
Yeah.
That way you see somebody's like, okay, he's got a handlebar, he's got a Fu Manchu, he's got a Karnov. These are mustachioid gents here.
Somebody's like setting off fireworks again. That's the thing. Like after 4th of July, it's not even just about setting off fireworks on 4th of July. People are setting off fireworks for like the next month.
They got all that leftover inventory now that every fireworks store is buy one get 90 free. And it's like two pennies and a piece of belly button lint to buy fireworks anymore.
So would you guys say that sending you the stream at the same time has worked pretty well?
I have not noticed anything crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
I noticed.
Does it look like it run at 30 frames per second?
Yes, it definitely does, because when you were fighting Dr. Wily, it looked like he wasn't even shooting anything at you.
Yeah,
that's fine.
'cause
I mean, I don't need it to send. And it,
yeah, but it's a great reference because it lines up much better for us to see.
Yeah, it's a little flickery.
Yeah,
like
it doesn't
the colors,
matter.
like the colors are weird.
Yeah. Well, you know what? While we're gonna, do you want to watch a segment of the Game Player's game tape? Since I have it already in there.
We'll probably
We
probably
should
get
save it.
addicted and end up watching too much.
Yeah. we have a. Hey, I'm done playing. I'll go back to the.
I have my backloggery tape.
Oh yeah.
Over here. Hold on.
Oh yeah, I can see it in the background there.
Hold on. Uno momento. Whoa, that's my eyeball.
Whoa!
Right there.
I saw it for.
Yeah. Right next to my ship and my Game Boy and stuff. Let me zoom back out here.
So we had a great idea. Because of my setup, I can.
Dance Karnov.
I play a dancing game where Karnov is the main character.
Goodness.
But we're gonna at some point we're gonna watch for our stream. We're gonna watch some of the old like tips and trick videos. Not how to beats, but like the real thing, like real real videotapes. And it might be fun to commentate over top of them. It'll be a little something different. I don't know what it's gonna be. I kind of want to do an episode on them. So probably
I think that would be definitely neat.
So let's talk about so next week we're going to be streaming from
how to beat Karnov.
How to maybe I should do that. Maybe I should do it.
I
feel like
how to beat series needs to come back.
I feel
like Karnov
is on one of the game tapes.
Been on one of those tapes. Yeah,
it is. And I'm pretty sure that's where I saw it, and then I ended up renting it because of that. Kenny Gladden, how many hours is too many for a used BVM? I think you may have sent that in a message that I have not responded to yet. Obviously, let me know if I'm incorrect about that. I have no idea, to be honest. I mean, that's something that I will ask for when we do like the geometry episode. I will ask.
Retro RGB is more the kind of person you want to ask that sort of thing.
Yeah, he probably has some good. See, the thing is, like with the PVMs, most PVMs don't have hour counters on them. Like neither of mine do, but all the BVMs do. I'd be really interested to see how many hours mine has. Anyways, back to the stream. So next week we're going to be streaming from Try's house. We're going to play the Shaolin Monks. And then the week after that, my brother is coming to visit, so he's going to be joining me on stream. He's a little nervous.
Is your brother any of the eclectic character that Game Dave's brother is? Because he talked about him on his stream earlier today.
Oh yeah, no. My brother's. You'll probably hear a lot of. Corey, don't be stupid. You'll probably hear a lot of that.
That's how brothers talk. That's for sure.
Yeah. But we're gonna find like a co-op game to play, and hopefully Try will join us as well to like help. Because I think he's a little nervous.
Now,
about
will I be able to be on the stream?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We want.
I mean, will he be able to hear me?
Yeah, I'll have it so that it's coming out of the speakers, or I'll give him another set
or
of
headphone splitter. Or something.
Here's what I was thinking that I thought would be kind of fun, is like I should locate a second gun con, and we could play Point Blank 2. Like I'm set up for it. It could be a lot of fun. Try is not my brother. My brother, he's older than me. He is.
How old is your brother?
He's 40. He's gonna be 41 next month.
Wow.
Yeah, but he's a little nervous about it. I'm like, we usually get like between like 150 to 200 people. He's like, because when I first told him about it, he's like,
told him like, yeah, there's like one or two people that come.
Yeah.
No pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they wouldn't take it seriously.
Right. Well,
Like,
I don't expect them to take it too seriously, anyways. But I think it'll be something. It'll be something a little different, And we'll see. Oh, I can pause it and I can choose my items that way. That makes a lot of sense. Makes it a lot easier.
Little Karnov education going on.
It's showing that we've still got like 163 people watching. Like, I don't even really think about
Those
it.
are 163 people making Karnov jokes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even. Yeah, wow, it keeps going. But I don't. I don't know. I just I don't even think about it anymore. Like, it doesn't
about the viewers. I mean, I would think that
people are viewing. Like, I don't feel nervous just because like a ton of people are watching. Like, it doesn't really register.
Yeah, I mean, I think
there are more people paying attention to this right now than watch my video.
But I think it's it's crazy. I mean, I was just thinking about how. Like, we passed, the 1-year anniversary of doing this stream. It was, the end of May. May 31st might have been our first stream. That was when we were on Twitch, and we weren't even doing it weekly then. We only did it when we had a new episode out. So I think we got to be coming up on, 1 year worth of streams. There's 56 weeks in a year, right?
That's impressive.
Yeah.
But, there's
Give or
got to be... I mean, this might have been
remember all
a
of
53rd stream, I think. So
Yeah,
I wonder if
it's crazy. It's been
you
fun.
guys are basic. I mean, you might as well syndicate the show, and I'll see if I can put you on at work.
yeah, right. No.
Maybe I'll plug you in right after Jeopardy or something. I don't know.
Oh, 52
By the way,
weeks. There's 52 weeks. Why do I say 56? It's 52 weeks in a year. I'm sorry. For some reason. So this
I totally bought into it. I was like,
we might be way past that. Last week.
Everyone, while it's on my mind, everyone should. It's on the screen there. Everyone should check out Duke's channel, the 8-bit Duke.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's listed right
there. That would
there.
be. You can learn a lot about the MacVenture series of NES games, as well as the most recent video is on their lesser counterpart, Tombs and Treasure, and it's interesting little history.
Don't follow at Dastardly Duke.
Oh, I
written
spelled
on that
it wrong.
Screen though.
Sorry,
Yes,
yeah, sorry.
Oh,
Sorry.
Yeah, Dastard. I thought maybe I did spell it wrong because I made a Bomberman 2 video where I spelled Nintendo wrong. So I was trimming up all my old Nintendo. Yeah, I was trimming up all my old videos and removing an old splash screen from them yesterday, and I saw that again, and I was like, oh, remember when I did that?
Nintendo was probably the first really hard word that I learned how to spell. I wonder if that's true.
Mine was probably Genesis, because I was like Genesis.
I think Nintendo is a harder word than Genesis.
I don't know when the Karnov video is coming out, LeChuck. I'm sorry. I can only work so fast.
Maybe I should do an episode on him.
I think you should.
Maybe I could.
You have to.
Because I know that he's in a fighting game too.
Commercial.
I think there's too much passion that you hold for Karnov to not share that with everyone.
I'm pretty sure that there's a Karnov's Revenge fighting game. It might be on the Neo Geo. It might be on my multi-cart.
How to get the best picture from your Karnov cart.
Really quick, is anybody in the chat going to Con Bravo? Because
don't you mean Karnov Bravo?
yeah.
That was a stretch.
Karn Bravo. If anybody is going to Con Bravo, I'm going to be visiting some friends. Like after my brother comes here, then grew up just outside of Buffalo, and Buffalo is like less than an hour away. So I was thinking about just kind of going to Con Bravo on Saturday, the Saturday of that, and just kind of walking around, seeing what it was like.
Ontario, right?
Yeah, I mean it's not. I think it's like less than an hour away from where I'll be staying. So I might as well go.
I mean, you've got to.
Yeah, now that I've said something about it.
Maybe you'll find Karnov.
Maybe. I'm gonna start buying them all up. They're gonna be talking about me on the NES Punk and Ian's podcast.
Can you imagine?
This guy is buying up all the copies of Karnov.
This guy, right?
Like this is how we need to get noticed, like by the larger gaming community. Because think about it, like that'll be on Kotaku and every game blog that posts like stupid things people are doing. They're gonna be like, this guy is collecting every copy of Karnov.
Yeah, you know what we should do?
I can't wait for that documentary where it's like, meet the man behind the Karnov collection. So
the people that are going to be listening to this, the people that are going to be listening to this with the the podcast version of this stream, are going to be like, "Come on, enough with the Karnov. We've been talking about this for 20 minutes. I can't even watch it anymore or listen to it anymore." Oh man, I think we need to. Maybe he can become like the channel mascot. Or something. We can make.
The subtle way you need to do that is on your cover page or your banner, get a close pixely shot of Karnov instead of Mega Man. That's all you have to do.
We can make a shirt that has Karnov. I know what I want.
What if we made a shirt?
If Game Dave hears this, what I want is a digitally distracted T-shirt with Karnov on it. So Dave,
carnivorously Karnov.
That's what I want. Dave, if you hear this sometime, and you want to make a shirt just for me, that's it. I don't want like Kirby or anybody. I want Karnov.
You know what
Karnov
okay,
spray.
so here's what we need to do. We need a ROM hack Kirby games to put Karnov.
Yeah, let's put
Karnov's Dream Course.
Anyways, I beat Mega Man tonight.
You did.
I beat Mega Man. It's been a while.
That's good.
And
you did
3 levels of Karnov.
Yeah. I used rapid fire, so it wasn't totally legit, but
it was a feature.
I don't know.
Not a cheat.
I think it's a pretty good run. Hour and a half.
8bitdo.
Yep.
It can beat Mega Man.
So, Duke, thank you for joining us this week, especially on such short notice.
Thank you, gentlemen, for inviting me. It's always a pleasure to not only talk to you, but to be a part of your life in gaming.
Yeah, you're welcome back anytime. I think you're a big hit with the chat tonight too.
The chat's always a lot of fun. I try to help out with the mods, but shout out I think definitely goes to Reggie B. Cable for keeping the naughty people out tonight. So hats off to the whole moderating team and the chat in general for the good Karnov carnivorous laughter. That's been the highlight of my day, I think.
Anyways, we'll be back next week, and we're both going to be at Try's house in person.
All right.
I can't wait to see you guys
we're gonna
together in the same room for the first time.
Well, second time.
That was part of my joke.
Oh, for the first time, for the second time.
People are like, "You guys have never streamed for the same place." When we were at Dave's.
Yeah, but this is just going to be us.
Yeah.
Playing.
All right.
Shaolin monks.
My life in gaming after dark.
Yep. I don't know about that. We'll see.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.